welcome back, guys. Well, Royce and I are out on an 8-kilometer hike and we're just stopping by this beautiful river here. It's frozen over. There's a couple patches just back that way that are open, so we're just being really careful, clinging to the shore or where we see snowmobile tracks for now that have gone by today. So yeah, today I really want to talk to you guys. I know there's a lot of folks online in the outdoors community. There's a lot of buzz about creating other cabins. Like, you have one, you want to make another one. So that made me think long and hard about whether I would actually want to build another cabin. And the answer might surprise you. Let's have a little bit of short lunch here and we'll talk about it. It's got some beautiful little rock faces here. There's the view from where we are. We're just up on the rocks. And there's the sun. Beautiful. So it's sunny out, but it's a little bit cool. I've got a couple of sweaters and my little vest on here today. I also have my heated insoles from Princess Auto. They're the ThermaCell brand. I think they're on special now. I'm forever grateful for those because I don't know about you guys, but if my feet get cold, if I'm out here a while and I'm not moving too much, then my whole body gets cold. So it's nice. I've got the little remote here and I can set it to 2 different settings. So I am toasty warm. This is also a really good product, guys, if you have like Raynaud's syndrome, like you've got a problem with your circulation, especially, you know, in the cold. Really nice to have something like that for your feet. And, you know, you can even have some hand warmers. So really awesome product. I think it's on special now. I used to just stick those little, you know, those little things that heat your hands or your toes in there, but they're just kind of bulky and it'd be kind of sore if they bunched up. So this way it's just an insole and you click them on. I think they have like, I don't know, 500 charges in them. It's battery powered, so stay warm out there. So what's in the menu today? Well, I'm gonna make a little stir fry. I've got some steak there in little strips. I've got some green peppers and ginger and some mushrooms. I got rice and cilantro. I know some of you probably don't like cilantro, but it doesn't taste like soap to me. It tastes like pure yumminess. So let's get cooking. Also with me here, I've got a little bit of soy sauce and some spices in this container. So when we're ready, we can drizzle that on. Give you guys a skillet side view. We'll do the meat first. Green peppers and ginger. Put in a few mushrooms, why not? Add a little moisture. Woo! Dropping them here. I'll put some of my secret sauce in there. Woohoo! Just gonna put my little lid on there for a couple seconds just to kind of steam some of the veg. All right, I think we're looking good. Let's add some rice and finish this up. All right, looks awesome. Let's have some lunch and a chat. Well, doesn't that look amazing? Let's give it a try. Wild yams, ginger beef. And yes, my favorite, cilantro. So I did not forget my little buddy. I got him some lunch too, and that's a frozen Kong full of salmon. So he's gonna have a good lunch too today. So one good thing you can do with these guys on the trail is to, if you're out for the day, freeze some food in a Kong, and you can see he's been working away at it. It's probably still in there. So he just licks away at it and spends some time being quiet and enjoying himself. So today I want to talk to you guys about, you know, building another cabin. Would I do it again? And yeah, the answer is going to surprise you. There's a lot of factors that go into building a cabin and things that need to be considered. And we have a really nice one now, but we do have a larger property. So there is a possibility that I could build another cabin. Now the cabin you guys see, if you're new to my channel, if you're seeing that cabin in the video, that's one that my partner and I built with a few family members here and there back in 2013. So it's been a while, a lot of time to reflect on things. Yeah, so I mean, there is always that possibility to build another cabin. I know a lot of YouTubers out there, you know, maybe they're getting another piece of property, they're exploring new land, or you know, they just want to put up another cabin, and a few guys are doing it, and gals. So maybe think about whether I'd really want to do that. So where the property is, you know, it's not ultra remote, so there are township and district rules in regard to building. So the cabin you see in my videos, there was a building permit that had to happen, which meant it went, you know, we had to drop the plans. Those plans were our plans. We didn't buy plans or anything like that. So the plans had to be drawn up and submitted to the township, and the township, you know, basically approved or denied our application. So that took a bit of time and money. Building permits cost money as well. So that would be something to consider if I was going to build another cabin again, is I'd have to go through, you know, the building permit process. Some places you're allowed to go out and build a 10 by 10 structure, no big deal. Other places, you know, like where we are, if you build a certain size structure, it's considered a home and has to have other, you know, regulations that apply to it. So that's really something to consider. Would this building accessorize our existing cabin by the bylaws and rules, or would it be something totally different? Would it be larger? Would it be a house? So that would be something that's really I have to think about, because let me tell you, that process wasn't very fun. It was costly, and you know, you have to have the building inspector out every step of the way so they can see what you're doing and if it's acceptable. So based on that, I probably wouldn't do that again. The next thing to consider these days, you know, with the pandemic, there's been a lot of supply shortages. And with shortages go increased prices. So what we're experiencing now down here, and you guys can tell me down below in the comments if you're experiencing this as well, is a huge increase in the price of construction materials like wood. Plywood, I don't know if it's gone up like 20 bucks a board or something like that. It's gone up a lot. I'm just going off the top of my head, but it has gone up a lot. I remember pricing out some stuff just for a basic project, and just astronomical increases. So I think the toilet paper shortage of 2020 came back to bite us in the butt, literally. I don't know much about the industry, but all I know is the price of wood has gone through the roof. Not really sure whether that's just because globally there's, you know, increased construction projects due to pandemic-related things. I'm not really sure. Now, it's a different story if, you know, if you want to build a cabin or a bunkie basically with materials from the land, like logs or things like that. That's a totally different story. But you know, a lot of the trees we have in our property, the prime wood has been taken, and so it's a young forest. It's been, you know, basically logged 3 times in the last 90 years. So a lot of the wood, you know, it's coming up rather dense, and it's not the most ideal situation for building. So you know, I really wouldn't be right now. Maybe if it was a smaller structure, I could get away with it. But some of the bigger structures, I just don't have the uniform enough lumber on the land to, you know, to make a nice log cabin right now. A lot of the, you know, the pine that's there, we technically don't own that, so we can't technically take it down, and all the pine that's mature that's left is really crooked. So, you know, try to get boards out of it, you're going to sacrifice a lot of that wood. So anyway, in terms of, you know, right now with all the prices of the building materials that I have to buy, because I'd probably do it that way, I'd do it again just like the way we did it, but not right now. I can't justify spending that much on those building materials. And now we're down to the build itself. So say whatever, you get your materials, get your permit, away you go. Well, let me tell you, building the cabin, there's a lot of personal growth for sure, and it was a lot of work. Not that I'm afraid of work, but let's just say it's not like my favorite type of work. The only reason I really was excited about it and was motivated to do it is I really wanted a cabin, a really nice place to stay, and the value of what I was doing was extremely high. Now, you know, I have the cabin, and, you know, why would I want a second one? And kind of to put myself through that again. It was a real push, not only physically, I think I was in the best shape of my life during my cabin build, which, yeah, I guess that's another reason to do it, right? Okay, touche. But, you know, it was really challenging. And I felt, a lot of times I felt unsafe. I mean, we're in a semi-remote area, so every single move you had to be really careful, working with, you know, chainsaws and saws, equipment. Working with those kinds of things, you know, if you mess up, you could injure yourself. I mean, I think the most injuries I got, one, there's a hammer injury basically. You know, you overswing when you're tired and you hit yourself. And I also ended up having, I forget what it's called, but some kind of inflammation in my foot because when I was nailing the floor and I was bending down, hammering all day, I kind of kept my foot flexed and I wasn't really paying attention to what I was, like how I was feeling or what I was doing. And so I didn't really feel it until I woke up at 11 o'clock at night and I felt like my foot was levitating off the bed. It had been in such a strained position, crouched all day, hammering on the plywood for the floor of the cabin, that I'd injured my foot, and that set me back a day. Doing construction, I had to do something else. I couldn't, you know, keep doing that for a day, and I lived on Advil. But yeah, so injuries, you know, weren't terribly common on site. We had a couple family members come and help, and I felt badly because at one point a board slipped and, you know, hit someone in the head, and there was a gash. So again, you got to be really careful. I was also up on top of those plates, I believe they're called, sort of right at the top where the trusses sit on. I was standing up there helping. We made all the trusses ourselves, so had to basically lift those up there on 2 ladders, hold steady. You know, if it was a windy day, it was terrifying. Some days we just couldn't get up there because the wind was so bad. So I'm sitting there trying to, you know, put the hurricane ties in, trying not to fall as I'm, you know, bracing everything. I mean, once you had that first truss up, it was fine. Everything kind of secured to it, but it was a little hair raising, you know, working on that. And then sort of bringing up the plywood, you know, someone on a ladder at the bottom, and then, you know, me pulling from the top, you know, with some strapping and things like that. I mean, I was terrified. I'd never done that before, and I just really didn't want to hurt anyone. Thank God all that kind of stuff went well, but it leaves an impression, you know, it just leaves a little bit of a bad, you know, just a bad feeling about it, doing that kind of stuff when you're kind of remote and, you know, you just don't want to get hurt or hurt someone else. That'd be the worst scenario. And our roof pitch is extremely steep. Now we did have someone come in to put the metal on the roof because I drew a line in the sand. There's no way I'm going up there in a semi-remote area with that kind of steepness. Got a lot of rocks beside the cabin. Don't really want to fall and crack my head. That's not worth it. So someone came in with a lot of scaffolding and helped us with that because that was not something I was willing to risk, which was a smart move. I'll pay for my safety for sure. You know, there's other times I remember, you know, every piece of siding that you see was coated, every single side, in I think it was 3 coats of waterproofer, and we were battling the weather, and you know, trying to get them all dried out and on there quickly. And we were also working, especially when we were doing the siding, we were working in, I believe it was like 32 to 35 degrees Celsius heat. That part happened sort of on a 2-week break we had in the summer. So that was one of the last things that happened there. So that was really challenging. And I think working in the heat and, you know, sometimes when you're working with your partner in the heat, you know, things can get a little heated in terms of, you know, everyone telling who what to do, and you get tired. You know, we're working 12, 14-hour days trying to get the cabin done. So, you know, my recommendation is if you're going to get married that perhaps building a cabin together, you'll find out a lot about a person. And if you want to stay with them in the long run, you know, thankfully we're still here. But, you know, it becomes a challenge. You know, you both want to do things properly and do it right. But sometimes, you know, you're just tired, you've had enough, it's hot, you're thirsty, you're hungry. And that's the time to call it a day. Just go and sit down and enjoy the shade for a bit. I think we're guilty of kind of working a little bit too hard at times on it, just because we had deadlines. You know, the first bit of the structure went up before November 2013, or November, December. You know, the roof was on, and then that, you know, the following spring and summer is when we sort of finished the exterior, and yeah, that was lots of fun. But, you know, it was a huge challenge. I'm not going to lie about it. It was a huge challenge. So, you know, it's a bit of a challenging process. You know, materials right now are really expensive, and I'd have to go through building permits again, unless I want to build now and ask for forgiveness later. Another option. Anyways, guys, again, I probably wouldn't do it right now. Nope, that's my answer. And I don't know. Tell me what you guys think down below in the comments. Maybe I'll come around at some point. I do want to, you know, maybe build a home out there a little bit larger, but you know what? Maybe I just need to be happy with what I have. So, you know, I love the cabin, don't get me wrong. It was a big process though, so I don't think I'm quite ready to repeat it just now. All right, well, thanks so much for joining me for lunch and a chat. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I hope you have a great week. Take care.